We're rolling with Dr. K. Dr. K. 100 shades of diversibilities every day. We're rolling with Dr. K. Oh, Dr. K. 100 shades of diversibilities every day.
We say thank you to Cousin Twin all the way in Atlanta who did that for me. Thank you so much. And today is Wednesday. Can you guys believe it? It is the 21st of January already. Okay, your children are going to have to be quiet.
Daisy.
Yeah. So the kids got to be quiet. So they have our guest today is Chuck Charles Ford. We are in Egg New Jersey. Correct? We're in Egg We're
Egg Harbor Township.
okay.
Yeah.
We're all the way in Jersey today. Do you guys have snow?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit is still out there.
Do you guys normally have snow, or is this something an anomaly for you?
We tend to have snow usually every winter. Not a whole lot, but yeah, they are calling for I think 6 to 10 inches though this weekend.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. I don't know how many inches we're supposed to get. All I see is snowstorm, and then I just click over and start playing my game and watch black and white TV.
There you go.
That's what I do. So we have been on air for 6 years. Can you believe it? Friends and neighbors, 6 years. And so 6 years ago, during the pandemic, we had a connecting to your community through technology. My father, the late Bishop Walter C. Durham, said, I want to give to 100 Shades of Diversibility. I was like, Dad, are you serious? He says, yeah. I said, how much? I said, what are you thinking? He said, well, how much is it going to cost me, to make a dent? He said, can I get 5,000? I said, no. I said, you can make a dent with $10,000 though. He said, okay, you got it. He said, come by the house tomorrow about noon. We'll go to the bank and I'll get you a check. I said, are you serious? So I go and I get this check. And what we decided was we were going to get technology in the hands of those folks who didn't have it, especially those who have been dissed. Because one of the things that has helped him the most, did help him the most, was having the technology with the iPhone. They, out of all of the carriers, have the best assist, the best programming for people who have disabilities, especially those who are blind. And the VA pays for persons who are blind to get an iPhone, and they get an updated one like every couple of years. So you have to go to Hines, Illinois, and stay there for at least a week in order to get it. And then your new phone comes in and they help you to program it. So my dad says, do they have pads? I said, they do. He said, well, they didn't tell me anything about a pad. And I said, well, Dad, if you want a pad, I'll buy you a pad. And that's where, we came up with, maybe we should give the pads away. And he said, the only caveat to it is that I have to approve every person who's going to get an iPad. And I said, no problem. Well, your wife, Kathy Ford, was applying for somebody else. And I thought that was so kind. So my dad and I said, you know what? She's getting this for somebody else. How about we give her one too? And I said, okay, sure. And that's how you ended up with the iPad.
Yep.
And I remember your wife saying you had tried different programs, and this was the last one that you wanted. You asked her for an iPad with the iPencil, because we were giving away the iPad, 2 years of insurance, and then you got an iPencil with it. Can you tell us about that experience? I mean, how do you use it?
Sure.
And what did you do when it came in the mail?
So when it came in the mail, my wife was super excited. She opened it up. She immediately charged it, started playing with it. And I'm sitting there staring at the Apple Pencil going, that looks like what I could use to draw my books that I've been wanting to draw for like years now. And she's always said, like, you need to just sit down, start working on them. And I'm like, yeah, but it's very hard to transfer it over to a device. And if you try to draw on a device, they make little ones that have like the little touch screen thing on it, and it just doesn't draw properly. But when I saw the Apple Pencil, I didn't even know something like that was around. And I was like, I think that's going to work for me. So I went ahead and I borrowed her Apple Pencil. And I started using my iPad, and I found a free app called Sketchbook. And I was able to start drawing everything on there, and it lets me color it in. I can save certain things and change it around how I want and like layer it. So I was able to do backgrounds and main characters and just basically play with it myself until I kind of figured out what I wanted. And then I was able to put the words on there on the screen. And next thing I knew, I had a book, and it was amazing.
How long did that process take you? You know, like what was the learning curve?
Not a whole lot. I used to use a program probably back in like the 90s. I want to say it was either Corel Draw or it might have been like Photoshop Illustrator. And it's very similar to that. You basically just draw out your characters, and then there's fill tools so you can fill in an entire area. The hardest part is making sure everything's connected when you're doing it. Otherwise, you hit the fill tool and everything goes one color, and you're like, that's not what I wanted to do. But it was a little touch and go for, I'd say maybe the first day. But once I kind of understood what all the different tools were there, it was very easy to transition from what I was used to using.
Wow.
But
how many books have you written so far?
Currently, I'm up to 7 now. With my newest 2 just came out in December.
Well, I'm excited because I got the first one.
Yes.
And during that time, we were in the middle of the pandemic. So it was nice to be able to have something, to be able to do something. And I spoke to about, 25, 30, 75 students down in Houston, Texas. Yep. And I bought 100 books on that first book and had them sent. And I just want to tell you, thank you. I want to say thank you again, saying it publicly. I mean, we did it privately, but just to be able to do that, I appreciate it. Oh, we have a comment. Some lady named Kathy Ford, I think she says, so proud. I see a lot of hearts going up there. I don't know who that lady could be, but
I don't know, but I've heard she's a pretty awesome lady.
I heard the same thing about her. And now it's public. Everybody's gonna know.
Oh yes. But the interesting thing about the first book, I actually had that idea in my head for about 10 years before I actually made it a reality.
Really? Why so long?
I could never figure out how to, I guess, put it all together. I was able to draw the characters out once upon a time. So I knew in my head what I wanted them to look like. I just never had a way to put it to the computer and put the words to it and everything like that. I also didn't actually have the story written out yet. So I knew what I wanted it to look like. I knew where I wanted it to go, but I still had to write it down. So when the pandemic hit, my wife, that awesome lady, Kathy Ford, she said,
that one there that says so proud, that's up on the screen.
Yep.
We got it up on the screen there.
She said, well, now's your chance. You know, we can't do anything. We can't go anywheres. Write your book. So I sat down. I thought out everything I wanted. I wrote it out. And then I just had to illustrate it. But the idea actually came from years ago when I was still in high school. My mom and dad used to go out in the backyard. We had woods back there, and they would feed the animals, you know, throw bread, seeds, stuff like that. And they'd watch the birds come. The raccoons would come. Well, there was this little flock of turkeys that would come. And there was a baby, what we thought turkey, And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. But when the springtime came, he turned out to not be a turkey. And we were like,
Oh,
wow. So I always had the idea in my head, I wanted to make a book called The Littlest Turkey. And in the book is actually what happened in real life. The turkeys would always bully this thing. And I'm like, why are they bullying him? Like, I don't get it. And come to find out, it's because he wasn't actually a turkey the whole time.
and that's in the book.
Yep.
I
And
love when it gets revealed
ah,
what he is,
and
which
the
is,
book is all about, learning to be true to who you are and not let other people define you.
you know what? I think that requires a clap right there. I love how we can intertwine life lessons in a book
Mhm.
that even a child can understand it.
Yep.
Because that's what I took from it. And I love, towards the end where the peacock ends up being the hero.
Yep. And it's funny, I had a lot of friends from high school who bought the book for their kids and they were reading it with them. And so many of them were like, I couldn't help but cry when I was reading this. And I was like, wow, that really, that means a lot. Like, I didn't think it was going to touch people the way it did. And it did.
Well, we have, let me see, I think there's another comment here, unless it's the same one. Oh, here it is. It says, Chuck, what is your favorite book?
Out of all the books I did, uh, it's hard to pick one. I'd say I have two that are kind of contending for the top spot right now.
Which
That
two?
is Who's Your Hero,
Mm-hmm.
which is all about it's basically a love letter to the dispatchers of the world. Because all the time you see people want to be firemen, they want to be police officers, they want to, do stuff like that. But no one ever says, I want to be the person who takes the call to get them to the people who need help. And my wife is a dispatcher and she's, been doing this so many years that I felt like they needed a thank you.
I
So I
love
wrote this, and it kind of gives a couple tips on what to do in emergencies. Nothing too crazy, but it's just my way of saying thank you to them. And then my latest book that just came out is all about our newest dog that we have gotten. My wife likes to call him a little terror.
it. And what
And
kind of dog is it?
so we thought he was a Cairn Terrier. Turns out he is a Yorkie.
Oh,
And he's 10 years old, but you would never know it by the way he runs around and gets into trouble. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was like 2. Um, but we were getting ready to, decorate for Christmas. And she said, Chuck, I don't think we can put a Christmas tree out because I think he's going to knock it over. And the
uh-huh.
second she said that, I saw in my head a scene from what I wanted to write. And I was like, I'm writing a Christmas book. And she goes, it's November. I don't know if you're going to be able to get it out by then. And I was like, I'm working on it every day, every night until it's done. And I had it in about 2 weeks and we had it up on Amazon, I'd say maybe right around the 14th or so of December.
Uh-huh.
So we just made it for Christmas.
Wow.
But
Uh, How
and that
long,
one is called Toto's First Christmas.
how long does it take to write each book?
It kind of varies a little bit. Also depends on when inspiration hits.
Mm-hmm.
I could be just sitting around and then all of a sudden I get 2, 3 lines and I'm like, oh, I like that. I should write that down and save that for a book idea. And next thing you know, it just kind of spirals and takes on a life of its own, sort of. Um, I'd say it usually takes anywhere from about maybe a week to 2 weeks to write the idea out, and
Mm-hmm.
then probably a month or so, maybe a little longer to illustrate it all and then put it all together. The hardest part is actually putting it online. Thankfully, my
Mm.
wife has a lot of patience and she's been able to figure it out so far. But yeah,
Wow. So this is a collaborative effort.
yeah, yeah. I write them out. She basically puts them online for me. Um, I don't know if I would be able to figure it out on my own. I'll be honest.
Wow. Hold on. I just need, my throat's a little dry. Okay. There we go. Now, she puts them online. Does she also put them on Amazon?
Yeah. So we publish it through Amazon. Um, so what she does is I sent her the entire book in its totality, and she'll go ahead and put it onto Amazon. But then you have to resize it. That's where it gets a little hairy because it's not as easy as just click and pull it over and then it's on the page. You have to resize it. Then you put it in to get approved, and then they'll say it doesn't actually meet the margins. You have to resize it again. So you got to keep playing with it back and forth until you get it to that perfect lineup. And then once it's done there, you send it in for approval, and hopefully within 2-3 days they'll say yes or no. If they say no, then you just got to revamp it a little bit to where it'll fit in the margins perfectly.
Mhm.
And then once it's ready, they'll say, okay, you're good, and it goes up.
How long has that process been?
Just putting it online.
Yes, working with Amazon and making sure it meets the regulations.
Well, I've been doing it since the first book. But I'd say the process of actually putting it onto Amazon probably takes anywhere from, I'd say, 2 days to maybe about a week and a half, depending on how many times it has to go back and forth for resizing.
Well, that's not bad. So we can see here the books, and it's underneath Charles Ford.
Yep.
On Amazon. And there's all of the books, guys. Let's see. Let's scroll down so you can see them. There they go. No Need to Fear When Darkness is Near. What was the impetus for that book?
So I had written the 3 books prior, which is Littlest Turkey, Leonard the Lizard, and Who's Your Hero. And I try to put some ideas in there for kids. And one thing I always kept coming back to is kids are always afraid of the dark, it seems. I want them to know that it's not as scary as you might think. So in this book, I introduced a new character called Bernard the Bat. And he teaches Petey that there's things in the dark that you don't have to be afraid of. And sometimes when you see that scary creature on your wall, it might just be a shadow from a stuffed animal and a shirt hanging on the back of a chair. So he kind of shows that there are things out there you might want to see in the dark, like sky has the stars in it, the moon. I put all the planets in there, which was a lot of fun to actually illustrate. I also show that the owls come out, and owls are very important. It was actually an owl in the first book who tells Petey that he's not a turkey. So I wanted,
yes.
So I wanted to have that in there again, just to play homage to the original. And there's fireflies and all kinds of creatures that come out at night that you won't see in the day. So not everything at night is scary.
We have a very, 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 did I say very? We have a very special guest who is watching on today, Miss Dahlia, who is Little Miss Wheelchair America.
Hi, Dahlia.
And tomorrow is her birthday.
Yes.
Everybody get excited for Dahlia's birthday. And her birthday present from 100 Shades of Diversibility, Rolling on the Road, Dr. Kimberly, I'm gifting her all 7 of your books, and they're going to be signed to you. So they're not just going to be books, we're going to get them off Amazon and have them shipped to your house. No. Mr. Chuck is going to sign all 7 books to you, Dahlia. And what's so wonderful is her comment was, we need to get these books. It's so exciting getting to read new books. I'm kind of like a little turkey.
That's
That
awesome.
it is. It is. It is. I think that we all, at some point, I think in our lives, are the littlest turkey.
I think so.
I think we all get to be the littlest turkey, and then we find out, guess what? We're not a turkey at all. We're this beautiful peacock.
Yep.
Were you, did you, have you identified with being the littlest turkey? Because you were mentioning about your schoolmates seeing the book, getting the book, and commenting. Were they bullying you?
No, thankfully not. I can say I wasn't really bullied that much.
Oh,
Might have
I
been a
hear
little bit
that
of,
that much. Okay.
well, yeah, there might have been a little bit of picking throughout the years. But overall, I'd say it wasn't that bad. But at every person's life, at some point, they, I think, have that feeling of, everyone's against me, and I don't know why I don't belong. But that's why it's important to realize you don't have to belong. You can be yourself, and then people will accept you for who you are. As in the littlest turkey, at the end of the book, the turkeys do accept him for who he is. And I think that just kind of makes the book right there.
All right, here we go. Dahlia was clapping and screaming and shouting, "Woohoo!" And of
I can't wait
course,
to see what she thinks.
I know we'll have to have her come on with you. You guys are gonna have to come on together
Okay.
so we can talk about it. And Miss Kathy says, "We love you, Dahlia. We do. I have fallen in love with her since last year. Someone from Disability Advocates of Kent County said, Dahlia, you need to meet Dr. Kimberly." And I was off doing what Dr. Kimberly does. And I caught up with her at the, where were we? Community Media Center at their table.
Okay.
And she just has this little attitude and says to me, I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? I was like, all right, who is this little sass muffin right here? I'm Dahlia. And I was like, all right, Dahlia. So I just fell in love with her. I fell in love with her confidence is what I saw first
That's awesome.
before I saw the wheelchair or her disc. I saw her confidence. And it is not a secret why she was chosen as Miss Wheelchair America. Well, Little Miss Wheelchair America. She's just amazing. She's got some projects going on, her and her mom. So I cannot wait to track with them on what they're doing. And we'll do hopefully weekly, if not bi-weekly episodes of what they have going on. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'll let them, tell their story. We won't spill their tea. And oh shoot, I closed it. I was gonna say we got another book up, but I closed it by accident. I was trying to close something else, and see that technology thing?
Oh yeah.
It gets me every time. It is now 4:24, 24 minutes after the hour, and we're rolling all the way in New Jersey on today. Yesterday we were in New York, and today we are in New Jersey. I'm telling you, we get around in this wheelchair. I guess that's why the show is called Rolling on the Road, huh?
Yeah.
And if you are watching on GRTV 25, thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you. and your viewership. You guys have been trekking with us for 6 years as well. And all the folks who are watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, and all 4 Facebook pages. I appreciate you so, so much. Couldn't do this without you. And this is why we keep coming back, is because you guys keep watching. This is why we do it. And what is the name of the last book? Is it the Fear book or?
No, so the last book is actually Toto's First Christmas, A Bear and the Bean Story.
All right, we're gonna try to pull it back up. Let's see. And what's that one about?
So that is about our newest dog, Toto, and him experiencing what Christmas is about. He doesn't know anything about it at first, and he likes to get into trouble. And once he gets into a little too much trouble, Bear tells him he needs to be good because Santa's watching.
Oh.
And he doesn't understand what that means. So the 3 other dogs in the house go ahead and teach them what Christmas is about and what their favorite part of Christmas is. And Toto decides he needs to learn to be on the nice list instead of the naughty list. And so he starts cleaning up his act and making better decisions. And it ends with him getting what is actually his favorite toy in the whole wide world. We call it Bear Bear. So I thought that'd be the perfect present for him to get in the book.
Oh, and then there's the cover for that. If you guys want, you can see it. Amazing. And let's see, Bean's Red Ball.
That is the one that came out. So it came out at the same time as Toto's First Christmas. It was, I think, 2 days beforehand or so. But that's all about our other dog, Jewel, and her losing one of her favorite toys, which don't let that fool you. She really doesn't like toys in real life, but I thought it was a cute idea.
Let's see. Then the next book we've got Toto's First Christmas. We talked about that one.
I also have The Bear and the Bean. That one started the whole bear and bean idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, it's still in the same world as Petey the Peacock, but it's its own set of story as well.
Okay, so then we have here, Leonard the Lizard.
Yes, that one is quite special to me. I based it off of my wife, Kathy, and her disease, fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, FOP for short.
Okay, say that 5 times real quick.
Fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, fibrodysplasia ossificans, I can't do it.
Okay.
FOP, 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 FOP. There you go.
Got you.
So basically what FOP is when there's trauma, extra bone grows and locks her into place. And I thought, how can I represent that in an animal? And I was like, well, lizards, if they get their tail cut off, it regenerates.
True.
That'd be kind of a similar way of talking about it. But there's one very amazing picture that I put in here. So FOP, there's, I forget what museum it is, but they have a skeleton of one of the FOP patients. And I was able to kind of recreate what the skeleton looks like and showed an x-ray of Leonard and how the bones kind of restrict him.
That is amazing.
And I figure, when people go out and they see someone who's different, a lot of times they stare, they point, they don't know what to do. So I wanted to write a book that kind of shows kids, it's okay if you're different and it's okay to ask questions. You're not going to know what's going on if you don't ask. And Leonard, he goes through and he teaches people that, even though he is different, he still lives the same kind of life as everyone else. And I have a scene in the book that my wife, she constantly says, and I love it. She describes FOP as everybody's a cake. She's a confetti cake because she loves confetti cake. The only difference is when you put the frosting on, they put the frosting on her and then put her cake in the freezer. So now it can't be cut like it can for everyone else.
Oh,
I
I
thought that
like
was a
that.
really great analogy. And so I
Yeah,
put that in the book.
I like that. So the next one we have goodbye, thanks for reading.
Yeah. That's just the back of the book.
On the back of Who's Your Hero?
Well, actually, it's on every one of the books.
Oh, okay. That's nice. So then the next book is Who's Your Hero?
Who's Your Hero? Yes, which is also based on my lovely wife. So she is a dispatcher, and like I said earlier, dispatchers don't really get a lot of thanks. So I wanted to write a book for them, and I based it off of her in her wheelchair. Let me bring up a picture of Disabille for you. So Disabille is a duck in a wheelchair, but she has no feet. Now, my wife does have feet, but there's another reason behind this as to why Disabille doesn't have feet. So when I met my wife, she had a cat named Sebastian. We called him Sabby. And Sabby had a little duck toy that he absolutely loved. And he took it everywhere. He would carry it in his mouth. He'd bring it into you and meow and say, like, here it is. This is a present for you. And as time went on, he took the duck and he ripped off the foot.
Oh
There were
my
little
God.
orange felt feet.
Yeah.
Well, then one of our puppies at the time we had also ripped off the other foot. And I said, well, he's no longer Bill. And we were like, I guess his name has to be Disabille because he's disabled now. So Disabille Duck was born.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
I like to take inspiration from where I can. A lot of what are in my books has actually at some point been something that we've seen or we've talked about or, you know, something we've come up with for our animals in general.
I think, did we cover all the books? We did Leonard. We did Beans Red Ball. Did we do
Yep.
Beans Red Ball?
So we talked about it a little bit. So Beans Red Ball, I wanted a story about her losing her favorite toy and going on an adventure to find it. So in Beans Red Ball, she doesn't know what happened to it, and she decides she needs to go out in the world and find it. So she travels all over looking for it, and she keeps coming up against things that kind of look like her ball, and then upon closer inspection, it is not her ball. So towards the end of the book, she does end up finding it, and she is overjoyed, and she decides she needs to share that joy with all her siblings, and they go outside and they all play with her red ball.
Now, in your bio, it says that you guys have 20 children. We heard
Yes.
you talk about a few. So we got some dogs, some cats, and I don't know if you guys heard the birds earlier. They were chirping. How many do you have of each?
So we have 3 dogs, we have 5 cats, we have 12 birds.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
We also have a fish tank.
Oh,
But we don't really count them individually just because there's so many of them. So, but all except for the fish are on the back of Toto's First Christmas. And I don't know if you can tell, but Santa and Mrs. Claus are based off of 2 people very close and dear to us.
I love it.
But I have all of them on here. And then I actually I believe it's there in the bean, I also have a page in here that has all of them in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to make sure that they were all in it so they could all be present and part of the book. And in that way, they're kind of always going to be in this world no matter what happens. So
I love
I've
it.
been
It's like having your kids a part of everything that you do.
exactly.
Hold on, guys. I got to grab my cord. Okay, we're back. We got to plug into the power source here. There we go. I forgot to have it hooked up while we're still there. But if someone were to do this, what would you tell them to do?
I would say, you know, first thing first, come up with what you want your idea to be. You know, if you have a character in mind, draw them out. Um, just kind of envision what their life is, give them, you know, a backstory so that in the future you always have something to come back to. So with Petey, I wanted him to grow up with the turkeys, and now I can always draw back to that. You know, if I need him to explain something like, well, you know, back when I lived with the turkeys, you know,
Oh,
I kind of
wow. So
I
have you
wanted
done a book like that yet?
not yet, no.
Okay.
I have ideas in my head that I would like to do. I have one about, you know, tidying up, keeping the world clean, and I have a main character for that thought out. But right now, I'm kind of focusing a little bit on the newer book, going with some of those characters. I want to intertwine them all at one point.
And the new book was about the Christmas book.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you had the newest dog?
We got him in May. So what is it? I guess we're at 8 months now.
Okay. So he gets to be the star right now.
For right now, yeah.
So when does he get to meet Petey though?
Well, hopefully soon. Because I in the previous books, they've all kind of met Petey so far. I do have on the Christmas tree, you can't really see it, but if you look close, right here, there is a little Petey ornament.
Oh, on the tree. Oh my.
So I do try to include Petey as much as I can. And I do have, there's a thing in the Beans Red Ball where she's going through different toys. And one of the toys is a little handheld game for Leonard the Lizard.
Aww.
So I do try to keep my original characters in the new books as much as possible.
Yeah. The time is now 38 minutes after the hour. It is 4:38. And our guest today is Mr. Charles Ford, all the way from New Jersey. We're in New Jersey today. Yesterday we were in New York, and I'm thinking next week we're going to be in California. Yeah. We're going to be in California next week.
That's awesome.
So we're going to keep rolling on the road here. If people want to get your books, is there any place other than on Amazon that they can purchase them?
They can reach out to me if they would like a personalized copy. Unfortunately, right now, they're only through me and Amazon. I'd like to get them out in stores if I could. Just haven't been able to figure out that part yet.
So what stores would you put them in?
I'd like to see them in any store that would carry them, honestly. But, you know, Barnes & Noble would be a dream. Anywhere is like that.
Oh, okay.
Even, stores that cater to children like Toys R Us. I know there's not too many of them around anymore.
I was gonna say we lost our Toys R Us.
They've been slowly bringing them back here and there. A lot of them are in Macy's, kind of like a store within a store, I guess.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'd like to see them out in the world as much as possible.
a great place, but I don't know how that would work because your book is worth more than $1.25, $1.50. I think they even have gone up to $2 on some items at Dollar Tree.
Mm.
But I see so many kids in there all the time, and they're always in the aisles picking things out. And I just think it would be amazing. I guess maybe that could be a give back at some point, after you're in Barnes and Noble.
That'd be awesome.
Or maybe even have you done a signing?
Unfortunately, no, not yet. Hopefully in the future, just with, COVID still being around, it makes it kind of hard.
True. I just got a note on that today that they have a new variant. I said, well, another reason for me to stay at home.
Yep.
I have not been in my office. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk about how long it's been since I've been in the office, but I've been working from home, and it seems like I'm even more busy being at home working than I was when I was in my office. So I'm like, I need to go back. Well, it has been a pleasure rolling with you, and we'll get everything set up so that we can get Dahlia her present. Now, Dahlia, you will not have it tomorrow on your birthday unless we just do I think they have, on Kindle. Are all of the books on Kindle?
I think right now it's just Leonard the Lizard and Littlest Turkey, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But there's nothing like having a book right here in hand.
And I will say that was the best part of this experience is once I wrote everything out and I put it out there, getting the actual physical book in my hand, there was just no feeling like that.
I bought more than 100 books because I had 100 sent down. Dahlia says, I can wait. Okay. I appreciate that. She's such a sweetheart.
Yes.
Let me see, where is it? There it is. She said, I can wait. Because there's nothing like it. And I bought quite a few to be able to give out to friends, to their children. So my acupuncturist, I had a book for them and had their names signed in it. And when they got it, she said they screamed to see the book and that it was, signed to them. She goes, that was just the most wonderful thing to have happen, in our family. So
That
I
makes
think
me feel great.
So we need to figure out how we can do this and get these books signed because kids really need to get back to reading the hard copy and not just flipping through the internet. Let's go back to the old way. We really do. Because I tell you, I love it. I love it. Well, my grandkids, I even had one for my grandkids. And I've had a few more since the last time I've talked to you. I think I've had 3 more.
Oh, wow.
3, wait, well, I mean, this 2020. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Is there anything like a post or something about this that we can share to our socials? You know what? What I will do is I will post the link to Amazon, the Amazon link, so people can purchase them. How about that?
Okay.
We'll do that. And I'll get that done this evening. Absolutely. It says to bring more awareness to Mr. Chuck's books and have them be seen by as many people as possible. You know what? A lot of the groups that I'm in, you cannot sell or advertise selling. But there is definitely a way. I think I'll just post the show and then people in those circles, I'll post the show and then they'll have that opportunity to see And thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you for having me.
Thank you, Miss Lovett. I love it. Love it. A play on words there. I appreciate it. But we're going to really push your books and we're going to get some available. And of course, Miss Dahlia, all your books, you'll have 7 books signed by Mr. Chuck here.
Yep.
And it'll say from, from Dr. Kimberly. we gotta put that in there so you'll always remember, for your birthday when you're grown and on your own and you're gonna unpack those books in your first apartment and put them up on the shelf. You're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, I remember when I was 4 3/4, almost 5 years old," and you'll be like 22 years old. Yeah, guys, look what I got. And so we'll make sure from this day forward, every time Mr. Chuck writes a book, that you get a signed copy. All right, there we go. Pinky, put your pinky up. There we go. We're pinky swearing that Dahlia always has a book. I hear your birds. What are they talking about back there? Are they chirping into like, yes, yes?
I think they're like, hey, it's time to wake up. Woohoo! It's a beautiful day.
And how many birds do you have?
We have 12. And they range from like as small as a canary up to a blue-faced Amazon.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And you have space to have all of them have their own cages?
Yep, they have their own room.
Oh, excuse me. So you just have a bird room.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have to come back so that we can get the tour and see the bird room. Thank you. The Dahlia says, wait a minute, I gotta find the comment. There's so many in here. I want to put it up. Okay, I'll just put up thank you. There we go.
Okay.
And Dahlia says that she won't forget me because we are the Purple Queens. Yes, purple every day. Even my butterflies are my thing. So there we go. Purple butterflies.
Okay.
Initial on there, Dr. K. It's not difficult for people to purchase gifts for me. They know what to get. So I want to say thank you. I saw that she was on here. Doretha, she got me this. I love it. Dr. K in purple, and then my purple butterflies. And of course, we got to have the purple straw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just all purple down. So we want to say thank you for coming on today. We truly appreciate you. And this was
Thank you for having me.
Any final words you want to say to the people?
Just, always remember, be who you are, and everything will be perfect.
And there we go. And we'll see you guys next week as we roll to California. So hopefully we can put on our sunglasses and some short sleeve shirts, unless they're going to have snow too. No, but we're going to go hang out someplace warm. I'll have my purple sunglasses and our beach attire. And we'll see you on next Tuesday in California.